The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape Never Lies.
Starts now.
The Tape.
You know what? It was an overthrow by Mitch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Injured Bear on the field is Akeem Hicks.
Cousins loses the football. Strip sack and takeaway.
Bears our live.
Who else but Khalil Mack?
Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive.
Yo.
Bears our live. Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Ran up with a true analysis. You expect raw passion for the show. Bears fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts by Shayne. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double teams like 96 Akeem Hicks. You can tell the shit matters. A bit love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. As our life keeps growing, Shayne's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussions on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, no expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Our Live.
Bears our live. Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with their boys draft talk and the smartest man alive.
the Red Legend,
Bears our live.
Dr. Phil
Bears our
Ottochian.
live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. Bears our live. Bears our live. Bears our live. We go on live right after
The Tape Never Lies Network.
This is Bears Hour Live.
100 crew. We're not quite as excited as we were last week coming in here with the big fourth quarter, but man, a W is a W. I have no DirecTV remotes left to smash. I mean, that was one of those games. It was real hard to deal with, but Chicago ekes out a victory. I don't think there's probably too many of us that expected this outcome at the end, the way that the momentum had totally switched and the Giants just attacking the middle of the field and going down. But either way, Chicago Bears 2-0. We've been waiting an entire week for it already. Got back on the football field, so now we're going to roll it back over to none other than Draft Dr. Phil for his Week 2 rant, and I think you're all going to enjoy it.
Listen, coaching is about the situations that come in every game. Knowing when to play the hot hand, knowing when to run the ball. You got to look at the clock. You got to look in the player's eyes. And when you get up on somebody, you choke them out. You choke them out because you realize you're in control and you are the reflection of the team. You don't accept bullshit on the sideline. You don't accept your defensive coordinator not playing man and being aggressive. You're the head coach. You can't let shitty teams stay in the game with you. I look at Coach Nagy and I see situational football escaping him. I ask, Hire me. Just let me help you fucking take this team to the next level. There's too much talent. There's too much momentum in the game. You can't be confused. You gotta see number 32. I don't give a fuck how much you pay 29. You know it in you. 17 drops the ball. Get in his face and get the next guy in there. Because the narrative is hard on Mitch. The narrative is gonna be this. And then when the end of the game comes, and you feel your drive, you're going down to say, we almost fucked up. But we're going to put this game away now because we are the better team. And you still get gimmicky. You still get empty. Despite 32 running, you come in tight and you have no clue. We're going to run around and go empty sets. Shayne, it drives me nuts because you, yes, won the game ugly. Yes, you did. But there's going to be people out there that are going to say, it's on number 10. It's on number 10. And I'm going to watch the tape this week, but I'll tell you right now, that game, that ugliness is on Coach Nagy. And you have my word on that. I will be truthful when we go to the All-22 this week. But Shayne, a win is a goddamn win. And the Chicago Bears are 2-0. And that is my rant.
I love it, man. We needed a little bit of that passion. I just, everybody in Chicago, the coaching staff and the players want to preach that aggressive mentality.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't. Being aggressive in the first quarter and making plays, I understand it. Yeah, you want that, but it's a 4-quarter game. I mean, Phil, what is going on with the going prevent and going?
Oh my God!
You invest all of your money on this team on the defensive side of the ball.
Put your money where your mouth is.
You have Khalil Mack, and I understand you want to put Robert Quinn and ease him back in because you want to look long term. But still, that's where you've invested everything into this team, and you want to go passive. It just I will never understand it ever.
Fucking Chuck Pagano totally doesn't understand the element of swinging the bat. You got to put the heavy weight on the bat so you swing it hard when you're up at the fucking plate. He's out there going back in zone and giving him easy looks on this guy who's nervous in the pocket. And that pisses me off. You got to have that mentality, Shayne. You got to. I'm glad we got that opening rant out because I was so fired up. My heart was racing. I was so nervous because I love this team. I love this game. And I love these 100 and crew fans. 300 and something strong. I love you guys. A win is a win. But you can't have a Mercedes and put the shitty gas in it, Chuck. You got to go and fucking put up the premium. Put in the premium. And start playing tight man with 23. And how good is number 33? Holy shit, is this rookie?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he showed up, Phil, 2 weeks in a row. I mean, we talked about him. I think the only concern, obviously, we've had is with the shoulders. But, I mean, him getting in there on just not on, any given down. He's getting in there on big money downs and making plays. I mean, you saw him get in there with his fist on that one. And there's a difference in that, Phil. You get in there with an open hand, the ball can go down. You get in there with a fist, you can get that thing to pop up in the air where you can make the plays on it. It's those little things. You and I were texting back and forth during that game, and when you saw Montgomery going down, and it was Montgomery time. It's why you traded up for this kid. He's eating up the yards. I mean, Jesus, 1st and 25, and he almost pops it for 25. He goes for 23. Then you're at 2nd and 2. Then you're at 3rd and 1. And, Phil, what did we talk about? 3rd and 1, you're in 2 down.
Two downs.
You got 2 downs.
You don't give a
with
shit about the
32.
kicker.
And they
you
went,
fucking make a message to your fucking.
I
That's what a head coach does.
I get it. And you want to talk about building your identity. That's where you do it. If you have questions with your quarterback, as Matt Nagy, yes, you want to think that they can convert on 3rd and 1. But there's also, it's fundamental football. You have the hot hand rolling. If they stop David Montgomery and the Chicago Bears offensive line 2 times for 1 yard, then you give it up to the Giants, and maybe we're so much fans here that we would be holding them accountable for not passing the football. I doubt
not
we would
on
be,
this network.
But no, I don't get it.
You and I would be texting back and forth. Truthfully, this is 2 down territory. You got 3rd and 1 because you fucking went in tight. All you had to do is spread them out and run Montgomery up in there twice. You had 3 shots, to be perfectly honest, because just like you said, this freaking kid, number 32. Have I talked about him enough? Do I have to love and throw some more love on this kid? I mean, guys, the tape don't lie. The tape never lies.
It shows you how important. We saw Saquon go out.
Exactly.
The Giants fans had to deal with that, and then you saw David Montgomery. I mean, that was awful. The way that he landed on his head. You just don't know how. You forget how much these guys weigh, and he had his body contorted and all. Yes, thank God he had a helmet on and everything, but I just will never understand. And the guy comes back, he's doing exactly what you want to do. David Montgomery is a guy that the more you feed him the ball, the more effective that he's going to be. You get him lathered up, and you're taking him out. You're running Cordero Patterson on that. I believe it was. I don't know.
It was a counter play,
right?
And he doesn't hit it up in there.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to hit it up in there.
He's a gadget guy. You got 2 gadgets. They paid a gadget. That's your gadget. Now you inspect their gadget. Inspect the fucking running backs that are out there, because you're gonna need someone behind him. Because Pace, for what he's done. Sorry, Shayne, to cut you off. What he's done in regards to this running back room, you have to wonder. Tariq is a situational guy. He's a gadget guy. He's not. Let's put him in there. Let's go outside zone, inside zone. We saw him do that on the Tape Never Lies this week. Which, by the way, Shayne, 9,000 views. Get over there to the YouTube channel. Subscribe here. You're watching it. The tape doesn't lie. We're going to break it down all this week. But I'm just saying, you have to have a runner in there behind Montgomery. You can't have gadgets. And I love Cordero Patterson, and we'll get into it. But I just think, looking at this team and looking at this game, if anything were to happen to Montgomery, you see the difference with him. He feels it, he sniffs it, he instinctively has that innate ability to find the running lane, hit it, and fucking drag people with him. Those kind of backs are just
You
awesome.
saw that on that 1 3rd down play when Mitch rolled out a little bit and hit him, and when he caught the ball, he did have the first down, but he had he was intuitive enough. He kept his feet and churned for 3 or 4 more extra yards. And how many times have we heard it that it's a game of inches? Those things all add up, just like at the end of the game. I mean, I myself did not feel confident on that 4th down, on the 4th down play, and then the final play of the game. I was hoping obviously that the Bears defense would step up and make the play, but Phil, it comes back to this killer mentality that we've been preaching. It's not there with this team.
17-0.
Yep.
Everything going your way. You could put, and you're coming out, and guess who gets the first carry in the second half? It's Tariq Cohen. It's the same thing. It's like, come on. You can't find your identity week 11 again. You need to freaking close games out. There's too much talent on this football team to sit here and have a nail biter against the fucking Giants without Saquon Barkley. Yeah. It's awful. And it's coaching. I don't give a shit. And it's catching the football. The difference between winning and losing is catching and dropping the football. I say it. I coach it. I was taught that myself. Darnell Mooney out there is catching the fucking ball. Javon Wims, Shayne. is catching the football. Anthony Miller did not take the baton that he's been, carrying and carry it to this week. He is so inconsistent. That ball is a money ball, and then the narrative along the national stage is different on Mitch because that's a big boy throw. Catch the fucking ball, and it's 21-0 at the half. And where does Jimmy Graham go? And the tight ends. It's like, I don't understand.
Jimmy Graham had as many catches today as our right tackle did.
It's like Bobby Massey making a big play on a stupid,
I agree.
empty set. Are you nuts? I'm on my knees dying. I'm swearing in front of the kids, just like Claudio said. I'm keeping it 100. I'm going ballistic here. My heart was in my throat. I just don't understand situational football. And it's so hard to properly assess a quarterback when you have a coach that doesn't understand situational football. Like, action game. Think about this, Shane. You haven't run the ball, like, in 3 possessions, I believe, they ran the ball once, and they ran action about 8 times. So you're running action, but you haven't consistently shown. And I talk about this all the time on The Tape Never Lies. You gotta have good action fake. You gotta run that ball in order to set it up, and Mitch is better. Now, I saw a couple comments in there. Yes, Mitch has to distract himself. The coach has to get him to stop doing the Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall thing. Now it's, Mitch and Allen Robinson. You gotta go. Last week on The Tape Never Lies, we saw it. You saw the drop into zones, you do the check down. I had some fucking guy, we're celebrating a check down. Yeah, we are. Because the quarterback has to understand that that's even better than forcing one in there. And you saw one get picked. The other pick was not on him. Allen should have caught that ball. It was a great play by the Giants defensive back. I thought the dude's knee was out of bounds when he possessed it, but CBS, I'm all over the place, Shane. CBS sucked. Can you give us a fucking replay? I mean, seriously.
Do you know what the rule is on that when both guys have the hands on the ball and one is out of bounds and one
It should be out of bounds incomplete. That's why I wanted to see the possession.
That's what I thought, but I didn't hear them bring that up. If both guys have hands on the ball.
The pick six, I mean, I was ecstatic. We're hugging. We're throwing Tate up in the air. The defensive guy has just as much right to the football. This wasn't a tackle attempt. This was a possession to the ball attempt. And really, this fucking ref, I swear, every time he officiates, the head official, every time.
You were waiting for the last play to go against Chicago.
Oh my
right?
God! I go, if this motherfucker throws the flag on the Bears, this is fucking fixed. There's no So thankfully, I ran down the stairs, got here onto the computer, and was ready to do my rant, my emotional rant, Shane. No script. How was it this week? Better than even last week, right?
It was a little more low key. I think we weren't what made last week a little bit different is we weren't expecting the result the way that that everything had unfolded. So we were hyped up. I mean, we still had a lot of questions, but we realized that W's are hard to come by, and at the end of the day, it's the most important thing that you get the W, but it's the process, and that's what we're going to be talking about here, and that's the way that we roll at the Tape Never Lies Network. We're going to talk about the process that got you there, because you can even look, Phil, I know you're not on Twitter, but you know the game. You hear we're like, we just want a game where it's not a ball game at the end. And I was sitting here with my family. We had the game on, and Ela says to me, what's the score of the game at halftime? I said, it's 17-0. But I said, we were up 17 last week, on the other side. And it just seems like the Bears are going to do what the Bears are going to have to do to get back in it, to their credit, or to let what I feel like is an inferior team back in it. That's down one of the biggest playmakers in the entire league.
Yes.
In the entire league in Saquon Barkley. And it looks, I mean, it is as big as of a Bears fan that I am. I mean, thoughts and prayers go out, that I'm not built that way. I hate to see talented guys go down with injuries like that. They're saying torn ACL, so it's going to shelve him for the season. But, what a talent. And to lose a guy like that, it's bad for the NFL. It's bad for football overall.
Biting my tongue, Shane. I hate to cut you off, but I saw a comment. If you think Khalil Mack is overrated, just leave the stream. Leave the fucking show. I don't need a like, a follow. If you think Khalil Mack is over fucking rated, go to another network. The guy is getting triple teamed. It's not a joke. He's the most influential, impactful player out there on defense. It's not even close. I mean, what he does to a blocking scheme just when he messes up. He's in the backfield. Oh, that's a free sack. He got. No! He finished it. That's what he does. And he makes everybody around him better. So, don't ever come into this network. That's another network. That's old network shit. Khalil Mack is a game changer. Exactly. Look at that. Right on cue, Travis. He's a filthy animal. And today, especially now, hopefully the All-22 comes out early, Shane.
Yeah,
and then I can get the defense. Because this week, I'm keeping it 100. Every Wednesday night, we go live. You fans will choose who I'm going to break down defensively for the Tape Never Lies. And that'll come out Saturday morning. Another Tape Never Lies. So I'll do the offense and Mitch, and I'll break this shit down. But you're going to pick. And today we're going to pick somebody in the chat room. But you got to have headsets. You got to have your phone. And you got to be ready to come on here and talk about these Bears. I got Claudio, the producer, today, manning the chat room. He's going to tell us he's behind the scenes. You can hear him.
Trying to keep up. 400 strong, guys. You guys, this is amazing.
This is amazing.
Trying to keep up with the comments. But it's awesome. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. I want you to come on with me and Shane, the 100 crew. If you're a true blue 100 crew, you want to come on here and talk about this game and what you felt, what you thought. We're going to bring you on later, but you got to have hype, as I say. You got to have hype.
Phil, what we're going to do here, too, is the guys in the chat room, if you have a Twitter account, go out there and start following at TTNL Network. And if you do, tweet it out there with hashtag TTNL, and I will look at all of the new followers that we have during this show, and we're actually going to choose one of those people that just decided to start following us on Twitter.
All right, there you go.
We're going to choose one of them.
2 people today?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll bring on 2.
Bring on 2. One.
We're open. We have no script, Claudio. He's over there sweating, getting ready for Wednesday.
No, I'm loving it.
Claudio's getting ready for come on. Cut it out.
Yeah.
But come on and cut it out.
I think we all know what the first one's gonna be.
I don't know. I don't want to
go on to at TTNL Network on Twitter. Start following us. Tweet it out, and I have an app here where I can follow all of the new followers that have been following since I put this out there. And we're going to pick one of you if you want to come on and chop it up for 5-10 minutes with us on here on Bears Hour Live, talking about the Bears moving to 2-0. But
2-0.
Like I said, in that, it's not just a W. We're going to give you guys a lot more than that and talk about the little things that add up and that are so meaningful to this game. But Phil, talk about number 59. This is 2 weeks in a row where it's been
clearly
a glaring issue. And I mean, I sent out a tweet on the one play. He wasn't even like half jogging. The Bears have a big decision to make. That they're going to have to bring in a steady stream of veteran inside linebackers that are available.
What's his name? Former Giant. What was his name? They brought him in. Former Ram. I love that football player.
Yeah,
from Georgia.
Ogletree.
Ogletree.
Didn't he sign someplace?
Did he? Fuck.
Maybe not.
That was a guy, really, because I really feel like him inside can offer that speed. This is why I thought Pace really needed to, and I hate to look back before we look forward. I did talk about Jalen Johnson.
Yeah,
I saw
he's
that
playing for the Ogletree signed with the Jets.
Son of a bitch. But we're going to have to look at somebody in the chat, or Shane, pull up a free agent list, and we could get that up there, screenshot it, upload it to the overlays, and I could put it up there. So let's talk about Jalen Johnson since, again, this is a rookie. There's 2 rookies out there, 3 rookies out there. Komet makes his first catch in the NFL. We'll get to him.
12 yards, yeah.
Mooney, you can't say enough about this kid, I swear. But let's talk about Jalen Johnson because, listen, Jalen Johnson, big-time play down there at the goal, striking his fist through there like he's a freaking 10-year veteran. Kyle Fuller's influence clearly involved in the game. He almost had it. If he went after, I never got a replay of this for the fucking CBS.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
That one where he comes in late and swats it down across the middle. I wonder if he could have picked that and stole that and took it to the house. The kid is I'm impressed. Week 2, everything we said come draft day on another network, you saw transpiring except the double-handed pick. This kid is playing his ass off. The game doesn't look bigger than him. He's clearly showing up. And when I say this, obviously, you've gone over to the network, I hope, and checked out the Tape Never Lies from last week. Every week, I try to get it out on Wednesdays, and then we go live on Keeping It 100, and you have that. But it depends on whether you all 22. Last week, I thought Jalen was good. This week, on my visual end, I thought he was outstanding today. Outstanding, Shane. What do you think?
No, I totally agree. I talked about it a little bit. It's those little things, Phil. I mean, people that aren't into it as much as we are, but it's a little thing like going in just with an open hand like this to knock the ball down. You go in there with a clenched fist, you can make a play and get the ball popped up in the air. I mean, we saw it benefit Chicago last week with Kyle Fuller's pick. You know, we saw again today how these, versus Mitch, how a ball getting popped up in the air can get picked off, and it can clearly change momentum. But this kid is so young and he is so talented, and I say the same thing about Mooney. None of this seems too big for him. I mean, you saw Darnell Mooney out there, Phil.
So we got
today.
the coach, Shane. I'm sorry.
Coach is live.
Coach is live.
Okay,
so let me get him up.
Sorry, I didn't want to.
No.
Cut you off.
You're the producer.
I'm on top of it.
I don't have any coaches stream on the YouTube channel yet, so I don't know what's going on there. Do you, Shane?
I'm just looking.
I'll refresh it. There it is. You're right. So let me share this. You talk a little bit, Shane. I'll get it up.
Yeah, I'll just finish what I was saying. I was talking about Mooney. You saw one of the smallest guys on the field going out there. You saw Mitch buy some time and throw a bit of a duck to him. I mean, I'm not bagging on Mitch for the duck. The ball got there. But you saw Mooney, posting his guy up like much bigger wide receivers doing, making a play. Here's the head coach.
We just keep getting better at it.
JJ?
My boy JJ.
Matt, to have 2 turnovers in the second half with a 17-point lead, what was your initial diagnosis of those 2 plays?
Yeah, the first one, it was a contested catch. The kid made a good play. The defensive back made a good play on the ball, popping it up in the air. Very similar to what happened to us last week in Detroit. And so I'll have to go back and look whether or not what the deal was there with the receiver.
I hope they ask about his play
call. And
calling.
then the last one is just kind of unfortunate. We're in that position to go to one of our best players on the team and give him a chance to make a play. And I mean, I thought he had it, and then just coming down, it slipped out. And to their credit, he made a good play to pick it off. So it's unfortunate, but that's a part of the game.
Jason?
Matt, I know you're very self-aware of process versus result. I know 2-0 looks good on paper, but do you feel like this has been a good start to the season? Yeah, Jason, I think, like you're saying, I mean, 2-0 in this league. I just told the guys in the locker room, it's one of the things I said is it doesn't, like, the way that ended and just, the guys are tired and the way it went with scoring no points in the second half, it certainly doesn't feel as exciting as it was last week when we won with a comeback and scoring all of our points in the fourth quarter. So
But I also told our guys, now listen, it is not easy to win in this league. I don't care who you're playing, and we're 2-0. So what we got to do now is we got to go back and we got to balance out, okay, where are we at as a team right now? Do we like our identity, offense, defense, special teams? How can we get better? And that's what we'll do. I have all the confidence in the world, our coaches, and then the players, they'll criticize themselves too.
Do you, though? Do you like where you're at?
I would say we're just okay right now. I think we expect a little better, but I'm not criticizing our players and coaches. That's a part of being in the second week with no preseason. So we have high expectations and we want to be better. So I think that's just speaks to who our guys are as people. Yep.
Adam Hogue.
Hey, Matt, the fourth down play late that ended up in Bobby Massey's arms. What did you see there? What was supposed to happen?
We were looking for an outflank with David Montgomery in the flat. They zoned it out, and Mitch tried to extend the play by throwing it to his tight end there that was sitting there.
Jacob
in
should be
that
asking the
curl
questions.
zone, and then it got tipped. And so sometimes that's just how it goes. I looked over, and Bobby caught the ball, ended up falling forward. And that's just how it goes. I wish we would have ended with some
Why
points
not run twice, Matt?
Yeah.
Why not run twice, Matt? Somebody ask him.
Clock a little bit since they were getting close to being out of timeout.
Why not define who you are now, Matt? Because clearly 32 was.
We'll leave the comment up. Maybe it'll.
Talking about kind of running the clock down on the Giants at the end there. In the 4-minute offense, you had some nice runs. I'm assuming you just need
Here we go.
some third down conversions to sort of walk away from this game feeling better about it.
Yeah, probably. That part I liked. I think they said it was 12 plays and around 59 yards when they know you're going to run the football because you're trying to chew up the clock. But yeah, we still want to be aggressive and attacking. And they made a play there. Mitch, I thought, was heady by not forcing the ball on the throw. I thought for a second he was going to run out of bounds, and he stayed in bounds and slid. And then we had an opportunity for the 50-yard field goal, which you want to be closer to be able to kick that, but you have to at least give it an attempt to go up 7. So. I like that part of the offense in regards to being able to run the football, but we got to, at that point in time right there, we got to be able to score a touchdown, field goal at minimum to be able to make it at least a 7-point game.
Yeah.
Kevin Fishbane.
This guy, man,
Hey, Matt,
he doesn't get it,
we
man.
talked a lot about the
He
third
doesn't.
down last week. What did you see from Mitch in the passing game, especially in that first drive, that some of the progress and maybe showed some of the signs of fixing what went wrong in Detroit?
Yeah. So number one, I think the first 4 that we had, they were all under 7. You might correct me if I'm right or wrong on that, but I think they were all under 7, which helps. A couple of them were runs, so that helps too. And that was kind of some of our thought.
Do you
going
know
into this,
who the
which
hot
important.
hand
So we
is,
wanna be able
Coach?
to do that, and then at the end to be able for Mitch to use his legs. and
32.
put that ball on top the defender. He's a weapon with his
One
legs.
presser,
So,
please ask him.
That part was good. We want to make sure that
God.
in third and fourth quarter, we're converting on third downs to be able to get more possessions and more points.
Mike Berman.
It's like not knowing football and having a fucking show. A football show.
Game in back-to-back weeks. What's that like on the sideline as you get set for that final play and then back-to-back weeks having to survive on the last?
Yeah, well, I'd rather it not come down to that, Mike.
We all feel that,
to have it
right,
come down to
Lady
the last
Bear?
play, and then when you see the penalty, whenever you see a flag at the end, your heart stops to think that they're going to have maybe the ball at the 1. But that's this game, and we've been harping on situational football, and I got to give credit to Chuck Pagano and his staff on defense, and then the players to execute. This is 2 games in a row now that we were able to learn from last week and get better this week. And again, I don't want to take away from the fact that we're 2-0 right now. I think that's
I
very
agree,
important
Coach.
for all of our players, to
Especially if
understand and
you're under the
recognize that
microscope.
We are 2-0, but what's great about that is that we know in a lot of areas we can be a lot better.
Mark Potash.
Yeah, man. What was the difference in the first half and second half for Trubisky? What was it the way the game went, or was it him? What really? Why was he so much?
How is he going to
better
analyze this for
one
you?
half than the other?
It's me calling the
Mark,
plays.
I hate to not give you an answer just because I gotta
Exactly.
see the tape, and I'll probably be able to answer that better the next time that we all talk. I don't know that. I just felt like if it was some of the third downs that we got into that we weren't converting. I know we started out 4 for 4. I think we ended up 9 for 16, but I got to go back and look and see what really is going on. There was a couple throws. I thought he made a good throw. Go back and think now that one throw that he made to Anthony Miller in the end zone, that was a dime. I mean, he dropped an absolute dime on that throw.
Oh, we agree. And he's using terms. He's using my terms, Shane.
But that was a hell of a throw that Mitch made right there, and that was a big-time play.
We'll do 2 more for Coach.
It's almost like a magician, like bait and switch. Let me talk about
Matt,
the
wanted
dime.
to ask about that throw to Anthony because that's a short field possession that you got via the Quinn.
He's got to catch it, Coach. You got to say it now.
With more than 3 there. What was your
put it on him
concentration there in that sequence?
Yeah, we came away with 3, but we would have loved to come away with that 7, especially just because that gets the energy going when you make a good throw like that and you make a big catch. Those guys got that.
Say it, Coach.
I know it wasn't there
Don't
today.
dance.
And then those guys executed. We got man, and that's why we called that play. Is so we were able to get what we wanted, and now it didn't happen. So
why?
I think when you can get 3 points, we'll take it. We'd rather much have the touchdown.
He totally is playing politics
there on the sideline, and as we go through that.
Last one, Jason.
Oh my God, you heard that right there live.
Yeah, just curious why Ted Ginn was inactive, and if that's any connection to how Mooney has been performing for you.
Yeah, I would say there's a little bit of that. I mean, Mooney's he's playing well and he's doing, but with Ted, I mean, he was, he's been in this league a little while, and I just think numbers wise right now for us with where we were,
Patrick
it was
Swayze with
we
all
didn't
these
have
dancing.
to do. We felt like with some of the packages that we were doing in regards to him not playing as much special teams. So that's probably the biggest thing. But I just want to say that Ted Ginn has been really, really good for us in a lot of different ways. And he's going to become an important part of this team here as we go. And there's nothing, I mean, it's nothing other than just probably numbers and where we were at personnel-wise.
Exactly, Tino.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Let him play
All right,
tailback.
guys,
He's got some great dodge moves there. Unbelievable, Shane. You get the coach. You have a chance to hold players accountable like you talked about. We're finally doing in year 3, watching the whole tape with the group, with the family. And he fucking can't say, Miller's got to catch that ball. Do you think
he did?
Belichick
I don't think you heard it the right way. I think he said.
I don't hear it the right. I
think
this.
he said.
Catch the ball, Anthony.
If you go back and listen to it, Phil, he said he dropped an absolute dime.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about
He's
Miller.
playing politics.
Yeah. Well,
he also could be saying, "Well, I said Mitch dropped the dime." He wouldn't double.
Me listening to it at first, I thought that he was saying that Miller dropped the dime.
I thought he said Mitch dropped the dime. Let's see what the chat thinks. Claudio,
No, I agree.
You think?
No, Shane, I do. I see what you're saying, Shane. I mean, but I don't think he was saying Anthony Miller dropped it. He's saying dropped it a dime in where he's supposed to catch it.
And it's politics, and it's not learning. That's fucking. That's Greg Bragg's. Let's be nice with everybody. That's what that. Like, no, you're the coach. You know how important this is. The team is the reflection of you. You go. Anthony has to catch. It doesn't even have to be hard. Anthony has to catch that ball. It's as simple as that. And then you move on. And then Anthony's ass is on the line the next week. That's coaching 101. It's little things like that. You, of all people, Shane, know. With the little things these guys miss in regards to the Chicago Bears, this coach has to be on top of it.
I totally agree. I'm just saying the way that I heard it initially, and I mean we have a lot of stuff going on during this, so it is hard to pay attention to everything.
There's a lot of comments.
But the way
in the chat.
just initially the way it came across, I thought he was more so putting it on Miller than he was putting it on Mitch, saying that he dropped a dime.
Thomas Jenks agrees with you. Jenks.
I knew Thomas was.
Go over to the Twitter account at TTNL Network. Follow the Twitter. Those of you that do follow, we're going to bring you on. But you have to have earbuds, wireless headset, and a
Doesn't have to be wireless. Yeah, just you have to have
wireless.
headphones.
It could be wired. You want to go to Mitch now?
So-
Mitch is coming up. Do you
Yeah.
want to go to Mitch?
Absolutely.
All right.
Go ahead.
Do you guys hear me?
Yep,
Yeah, I
we
can
got
hear
you,
you, Mitch.
We got you, Mitch.
Go ahead, Dan.
Can you hear us, Mitch?
Yep, got you guys. Mitch needs a haircut.
Can you walk us through the first touchdown pass to David, and obviously a little bit of a rollout to play broken down, and then you were able to find him for 6?
Yeah, they were just, we knew when we got closer to the red zone, they were going to drop 8. So I was just looking to find completions. And when they're only rushing 3, I just extended play with my feet, and I drew a linebacker out of coverage, and David did a great job staying alive. And then the run after the catch was incredible. So
great play.
I got to keep making plays like that. And I think the third down conversions earlier in the drive helped us get to that point. So that was our focus for this week. We were a little bit better at that, but we got to finish. We got to put 4 quarters together and keep getting better. But that was a pretty cool play, and just extending the play and feeling out what the defense is doing, being a throw with my legs, and then making a smart play, getting it to David.
Kevin Fishbane.
Let's see what Kev
Hey,
brings.
Mitch, on the touchdown, Darnell Mooney looked like a similar kind of situation. It looks like you waved to him a little bit. How did that kind of come about, especially with a guy that you haven't spent a whole lot of time with, to have that rapport, that communication there?
Yeah, just trust. I mean, me and Mooney have gotten a lot of reps in between sets in practice, and then after practice, just getting on the same page. And when you have a young guy with that type of hunger as a quarterback, you trust him. So I was just extending the play again. I'll have to watch the film, but I think it was drop 8 again. The O-line did a great job giving me time, and I was just extending the play, and I saw the DB had his back turned. He had no eyes on the football, so I was kind of waving to Mooney to go out to the left, and I put it in a spot, and he did a great job attacking the football and coming back towards it, and made an amazing catch. And that was pretty big to get points before half. But
it's a great question.
We definitely need to make improvements coming back in the second half. So that was a good play.
JJ?
Hey, Mitch, you sounded kind of frustrated about it not being a 4-quarter game. How do you balance that against being 2-0 right now?
For sure. I think it's good.
For sure. You got the for sure in. There's no water bottle so far.
To play 4 quarters. And when you play really well in the first half and put up 17 points and then don't put up any points in the second half, I think that's a little frustrating. So we have a little higher expectation for what we're trying to do on offense this year. And but you have to be happy with the win. I mean, it takes special teams, offense, and defense. And it was a great team win. So we battled through, and we're proud of that. But we still have a ways to go, and we know we can. There's definitely areas where we can continue to get better, and that's being more consistent and playing all 4 quarters, not just a second half last week and a first half this week.
Mark Potash.
I like that shirt, Mitch.
Mitch, along those lines, what happened in the second half? Is that a credit to the Giants? Did they change something up on you, or do you think you guys just kind of got out of a rhythm in the second half? What was the big difference?
A little bit of both. You always got to give credit to the defense when they're making plays and making you get off the field. We can't turn the ball over, and that's myself and the whole offense included. So I just got to continue to make good decisions, not putting the ball in harm's way, and stay on the field. But it's definitely us staying in rhythm, us staying aggressive, and everybody being on the same page and having that mindset that we got to go out there and finish. So we got to look at it, correct our mistakes, and keep getting better.
Adam Hogue.
He does say
we. What was your
he
view
doesn't
of
say
the
I.
fourth down that ended up in the arms of Bobby Massey? What was supposed to happen there?
That's not how we drew it up. They zoned us out on a 4th and 1. So I was just trying to get it in there to Jimmy. They did a good job knocking it down, and luckily it ended up in Bobby's hands. His first career catch in a huge situation. So we got lucky, but sometimes when you're playing hard, the ball bounces your way.
Mike Berman.
That you talked about the team balancing the good first half versus the bad second half. What about for you personally? Were you surprised because you'd had such a good first half? Were you surprised you didn't play as well in the second half? And what's the key for you to find that 4-quarter consistency?
Claudio's.
Sorry.
I don't know if surprise is the right word, but when you put together 2 pretty good quarters in the first half and put up 17 points, I think going in at halftime, you expect to build off that momentum and come back and continue to play good football and score points. But I don't think we can't be worried about the scoreboard. We got to just continue to do our jobs and score as many points as we possibly can. When we go out onto the field, no matter what happened the last drive, we got to be focused on going down, scoring points, and doing our job. So the expectations are just higher, and we could have put it away if we just did a little bit better in the second half. But like I said, it's a huge team win. We lean on our defense, and they continue to have our back. Special teams did a great job, and offense, we moved the football, but we got to score points.
A few more for Mitch. Dan Wiederer.
Mitch, the first third down of the game with 3rd and 6 to A-Rob over the middle. Do you remember that play? And obviously the catch that Allen makes prevents a 3 or turns a 3 and out into a touchdown drive ultimately.
Huge. I mean, Allen's a big-time player, and we know in third down situations, if I put the ball up in his area, that he's going to go up and make plays for this offense. So that really jump-started our first drive, and we ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. And in order to stay on the field, you're going to need guys to make plays. That's O-line, quarterback, receivers, tight ends. And you're going to have to throw into tight windows, and you're going to have to make tough catches, but that's just what we expect. And if you want to have a great offense, that's just the expectation across the board. But we've seen Allen make incredible catches all the time, and it's just becoming
just don't force
a habit for him to do that. So
don't focus on
area,
him.
He's going to make a great catch, and he did on that first drive, and that was big for us staying on the field.
JJ?
Mitch, I want to go back to Darnell for a second. What has he shown you over the last, weeks, months that has given you so much confidence to point him out in the end zone?
Speed in hands and confidence. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, just the way his approach as a rookie is impressive, and it's good to see just how he's seeing the game, how he's doing his job, how he approaches practice, how he's working hard, how he's asking questions, how he's trying to be on the same page with me, how he's detailed in his routes, and you could tell he's making an effort to be on the same page, getting his depth, being in the right place at the right time. And as a quarterback, you just trust that, and it's really cool to see in a young guy that he's getting it right away, and that he wants to learn because he wants to catch the football and he wants to make plays for this offense. So I think that's huge, and just getting the more reps I get with him, the more trust I'll get, and just making a play. When I saw DB's back was turned, I had a lot of faith that he was going to come down with that football. So I just put up in his area, and he attacked it and made a huge play.
Thanks for your time, Mitch.
Thanks, guys.
There he is. Mitch Trubisky, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love watching this team, this quarterback. Mooney, the offense, this had a potential to be something special today. I don't think we need to. You don't want to hear Deion Bush, do you?
Yeah,
Shayne?
put him up there. I think he stepped up. You play him for a couple minutes. See what he says.
Let's see if
Deion,
Bush.
can you take us through the interception, and then after you caught it, did you think about lateral at all? You had a handful of teammates.
If he ran left, he scores.
Yeah, so I was in coverage, and I seen Daniel Jones throw the ball, and I broke on it, and happy I came up with the pick, and I heard them behind me a little bit too late, so I was like gathering myself about the picture, and then but I got tackled. So hopefully I
just run to the left, Deion, and take it to the house. And that's it for this question.
Media, please raise your hands. Dan Wiederer, go ahead again.
Are you done with
the only thing anybody wanted to know.
What's the defense's mentality at the end? Just allowing them to score 13 points.
Last one with
Deion. How did you
for
guys
God's
feel
sake.
knowing that you had to survive to the very last second in this one?
I mean, our goal is to stop them from scoring points by any means necessary. We try to go out every day and play to not let them get in the end zone. So we like that pressure on us as a defense, and we got to rise to it if we're going to be a top defense in this league.
All right, that's Deion Bush there. He's coming in because Danny Trevathan is not stepping up, and really, ultimately, that'll transition us. And thank you, Mitchell Galloway, he was the first one ever to have hype and come on the show in the Do You Got Hype section. What do we call that segment? What is it called? 100 Crew Hot Takes.
Right.
You got to get ready with your hot takes coming up.
You new guys that just started following us on Twitter, be sure and check your DMs because somebody might have a message in there asking you if you're prepared.
If you're prepared, you are going to get a link sent to you via Shayne. During that link, you click on it, you'll be in the waiting room, and then we'll bring you on the show to talk about the Chicago Bears beating the New York Giants. I need a scroll of the final score, Shane, if you can. But
yeah, I'm on it.
We're talking about Danny T. Here are some free agent inside linebackers. Obviously, I talked about Alec Ogletree up at the top. Oh, my boy Stephon Anthony, former Clemson, 28-year-old inside linebacker. Todd Davis, does he do anything? Albert McClellan, it's too close to Shea. McClendon. Dayon Buchanan is free. I mean, that's a guy that you're trying to do Dion, what Dion Bush is doing. And then Manti Te'o. Shane, Manti Te'o, former Notre Dame. I know a lot of Notre Dame fans might like that. So, I'm proud of the Bears Reddit community being strong as fuck, as well as the free agent list. Mitchell Galloway, I appreciate you doing that. And let's get back into it. Darnell Mooney obviously was talked about there. I saw Dub Williams, my boy. Dub, I already have that play loaded and locked in my head. I said it to Claudia when it happened. I think I Facebooked it out. I don't know what we call that, Shane. Whatever I did. I go, Darnell Mooney's blocking better than some of our offensive linemen. He squares up, goes after the defensive back, and drives him as our guy is running the football. I mean, this is a rookie. What do I talk about all the time on The Tape Never Lies? I know the Bears staff has watched it. I know they hate the fact that I'm calling it out. But you did some great things last week. Getting to the second level. Improving from what the shit you put on tape the year before. You're improving. And now you come out here and you lay an egg in situational football and what you're doing with David Montgomery. He was the hot hand. This is it. Let's think about this game. 2 Miller drops, the difference between winning and losing. That momentum switch of points is huge in a game. Because on any given Sunday, I don't care who you're playing, any team can win. I don't care what PFF, what do they do? These power polls every week and all that kind of shit. I don't care about that. The NFL is so hard to win. So you see in a game, in situations of plays, Shane, Anthony Miller dropping the catch that should have been caught on the outside and the dime ball right in his hands. Those two plays are huge on third down, costing or creating difference in the game. Then you got Mooney in the end zone. What is he? Focused. The ball started to carry like a fucking duck. I don't know what, the wind or something picked up because it was a spiral out of his hands. And then Mooney, focus, catch. That's what you need.
The smallest guy on the field posted his guy up. I mean,
posted him up, blocking his ass off, running routes to the whistle. Crisp. I'm talking speed. Listen, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't get to see Mooney in preseason football. I didn't know what to expect. I came away so very, very impressed. In 2 weeks, Darnell Mooney is becoming a story as much as Matt Nagy not using David Montgomery. And thank God Montgomery was able to come away from that head injury and come back, or neck injury, and come back. Because let me tell you, 32, 12 has been probably the best player on offense. But I'm telling you, number 32 is going to shut up a lot of fucking racist gamblers out there. I'll tell you that. Because number 32 is a fucking football player. And there's no doubt about that. I can tell you, guys, game plan should be around 32. Fuck a Mitch and all that shit. Your run game is going to help Mitch, and he's just going to grow from there. Football is a team sport. It's not one guy. Aaron Rodgers, arguably the best in the game, or whoever. He needs his receivers to make plays. He needs his running game to make fucking plays. That's the reality. So,
if you got the running game going and you got Mitch doing what he needs to do, I just think you're too good to be in these situations where Phil and Shayne are sitting there grabbing their stomachs in nervousness, as well as you fans all fired up, worrying about a game coming down to the final drive once again with a team that's much more inferior than you are. I just don't understand how that possibly could go that way. Now, earlier we talked about Khalil Mack. I went on a mini rant because I don't care about likes or follows. I want them, but I don't tolerate bullshit narratives. The narrative on Khalil Mack is completely twisted in the wind by Chicago Bears fans. You can't have nice things, some of you. I don't know what the percentage is, the PFF score is on Chicago Bears fans. But you want to hate so bad, it seems. It's like you can't get to the point where you appreciate something. That you appreciate greatness on the football field. I don't even understand how they use him. And I'll bring Shayne back into this. I don't understand how you're pulling Khalil Mack first play of the second half. I don't get Pagano. We haven't even gotten into this fucking guy.
Yeah, you have them backed up exactly where you want them, and I understand they're easing Quinn back in, but it was Vaughters and Mingo. I mean, you have them backed up there to make it. I mean, you might be able to you might be able to sneak away 2 points. You don't. I mean, you have 2 premier pass rushers to get in there.
Exactly.
They passed the ball. What was it, like a 10 or 11 yard gain? I think on the first down there, and I texted you immediately, Phil. It just made no sense to me.
Oh, it's like the guys rested the whole fucking half.
Right.
It's like these guys. I need my cousin Eric's. I gotta upload that this week for the fucking Keeping It 100. Remember about these guys? They get all this money with his accent, and they're fucking TV timeouts. There's commercial timeout. He's fine, Chuck. He's fine. Leave him out in the fucking field and let him play and do what he does. And again, here's the defensive coordinator situations. You have him backed up. That's where your fucking big time rusher is critical. Not bring them in when they're inside your fucking red zone now. Oh, now we're going to bring them in. Come on. You shouldn't even get there. This shit should be... Did Richard Dent come out all that often? Did these guys come out? No.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. I mean, I know he's been
got
nursing
a
the knee and stuff like that, so we don't know. But it's
situationally that I'm talking.
Right. No, I totally agree.
In that situation, backed up,
you gotta have
Max. Got to be on the fucking.
Yeah, you gotta have
your
big guns out there. I mean, you saw Robert Quinn come in on his first fucking play. I mean, it reminded me. You look back to 2018. Remember Roquan Smith? His first play as a professional, he sacked the quarterback, and that was what popped into my head immediately. You saw him get in.
What a pass rush! I can't
Robert
wait to put
Quinn,
that up on the tape.
He almost had a second one, but I mean, I got to give Daniel Jones some credit.
That was a great.
That was an amazing.
By Jones.
I mean, you have to give it up when it's due, because that was a hell of a play. I mean, Quinn beat his guy. He had him wrapped up and dumped the ball off to I think it was Deion Lewis. But yeah, man, that was a hell of a play.
You gotta give it up to Jones there. I mean, great rush. You could feel Quinn's impact. It's like we always talked about with Leonard Floyd on the other. You gotta win.
Right.
That first sack, let me tell you, Robert Quinn is going after the guy and really strip sack, did everything he's here and been brought to do. And you can't ever overlook what a game changer does on the edge. Those types of guys bringing that to the playing field. I can't wait to break Quinn down a little bit. And I know they had him on a fucking pitch count today. It was clear and evident because you could see the impact he's having on those tackles each and every play. And on Akeem Hicks. I really thought Nichols and
our guy Roy Robertson Harris would have a day today, and they didn't come to the stat sheet yet.
Phil, were you worried on that play by Hicks when he ripped his helmet off when he was on the field? Because I was waiting for. I'm like, that's so Chicago Bears for him to.
That was a nice sack by him, and then
absolutely, but he's going off.
He's
the field.
Got to remember,
he ripped that helmet off, and I was waiting for that flag to come out because that would be, like I said, that would be so Chicago to blow it right there. And I mean, what a horrible turn of events that would have been.
I mean, you can't suppress excitement. So I get it, but Akeem's got to know. Especially with these ticky-tacks. I mean, some of the ticky-tack calls just drive me insane. You gotta have your head in the game and understand that rule could come back and haunt your team if you're selfishly celebrating what you had a great sack and a great play. That's 2 weeks in a row that my boy Johnny Nightcrone is doing. Now listen, go out there to the Twitter and follow the Tape Never Lies Network and subscribe to the Facebook and YouTube channel. I know Shayne is tallying those people, and really, let's get a little bit more into some of the defense. I thought, again, I want to go back to the Eddie Jackson play. Eddie Jackson came to fucking play today. Eddie Jackson might not be talked about. The secondary played really well today. But Eddie specifically in the run game, he also was coming up in there and making open field plays on Daniel Jones in a critical moment. And then I really need the NFL. I know. Does Ron Riveron still do that shit show he does?
No, I don't think so.
I need a ruling on this. If two players are going to the football and collide, there should be no penalty, and it should have been waved off and a touchdown awarded to the Bears. Because if you look at the replay of the game, especially of that play, you would see he comes into the vicinity of the ball. He has every right to the football, just like the offensive guy.
And I could be 100% wrong here, just at first glance, Phil, and I did not get to see the replay. It was just the initial play. I had said that he was there early, and I thought that Eddie dropped a shoulder into him before he had his arms extended. Like I said, I'm sure you guys.
See it.
Hopefully, you guys. Hopefully,
I thought it was early too. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, you guys hold me accountable in the chat room because I'm literally going off the live play because I did not have the benefit of the replay. I thought Eddie went into him with his shoulder without the arms extended, making a play for the ball. So that that could have been the difference.
Listen, remember the play of Kyle Fuller? I think it was Buffalo. And Leonard Floyd picks the tip. Yep. They initially threw the flag on Fuller, but then realized that he has every right to the football, waved it off. That's where I thought the rule was. Again, I will specifically put that play up in the Tape Never Lies this week because I really want to see it truthfully from both the coach's angle and the all-22. Initially, my first reaction is no fucking way. He has every right to that ball. It's a bad call. It's the officials playing it safe and really not recognizing the game of football is, got to be handled both ways. But to the point, Kyle Fuller, I saw Cherie talking about Kyle. I thought Kyle Fuller, dude is playing lockdown football. He is everything you want in a corner and more. You got to be so excited, especially going into next week. That's going to be a huge matchup there with Julio and Kyle Fuller going at it. Those two, and I really think.
I believe they blew the game. They lost the game. Right?
They lost the game?
Dallas came back, yeah.
They lost the game?
I believe so. I don't have the scores in front of me. Maybe Claudio, did they?
Claudio, the producer. Yeah. Let's give us some scores around the league here. Give us some scores. Listen. Holy cow, if they lost that game. And football, it's 60 minutes, guys. Last week, we're celebrating a victory when even I was like, I can't believe we lost to the Lions. This week, write down the Cardiac Kids.
Yeah, 40-39.
40-39, they lost.
Green Bay doubled up Detroit, 42-21.
Look at Claudio giving updates on scores.
Claudio, Colts
dropped the Vikings.
Go to that game, Claudio. Look at the box score and give me Kirk Cousins' numbers.
Give us Kirk Cousins. Type it up in the box and scroll Kirk Cousins' box score.
I know, at one point he was
100 million. Look at this.
7 for 20
these
with
guys.
3 interceptions.
I love these guys.
Yeah, 113 yards passing, 3 picks.
113 yards passing.
What was he? He was like 7 for 20 at one point.
You imagine if Mitch Trubisky had 113 yards passing and 3 picks, or was it 4 picks? Oh, Madon. You can't even make it up. But anyway, back to these Chicago Bears. They're 2-0. I really liked how they came out the gates. Again, you could just tell David Montgomery. I was getting worried there, Shane, right before he got injured that, okay, we just paid Tariq Cohen, and now we're going to try to, double down on our investment. And then he was gone from the game.
Right. Phil, I know we're going to talk about this a little bit more Wednesday night, but
yeah,
I was surprised that they invested in Cohen.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about this on Wednesday, but I will say this truthfully. With total vulnerability and transparency, I thought it was the wrong move to sign the kid, especially while you're negotiating. I know there was a deadline. I forget the rule. Why can they could they have a deadline with Tariq, but they don't have a deadline?
Well, no, I just think it was for this. So it would be official for it would. So if he went out and got hurt this game, then he would get that guaranteed money coming to him. Yeah, that's why the deadline is in play.
That's why the deadline.
It needed to be. I think it was 3:59 yesterday.
Okay, now you've cleared that.
Yeah, and it's because
that's why he's the smartest man.
That's what all of these guys. It's all about guaranteed money and having the extra years. And whenever you look at a contract, don't look at what just the money line says on page 5. It's the guaranteed part. So if Tariq went out and had a catastrophic injury like Saquon Barkley did today, and he had signed his extension, he's still guaranteed that money. If it came in at 403, that contract extension wouldn't come to fruition until after the game.
Here's the thing. You're negotiating in public. The fans. You know the situation. Apparently you got Ted Phillips. I haven't got to listen. One of our 100 crew sent me some audio of Ted Phillips talking about Allen Robinson. We're going to play that this week on Keep It. Get him the fuck off. Get him out of there. You got George McCaskey talk. Don't be disrespectful to Allen Robinson by sign. I didn't like it, and I really agree with Adeptus Serpentis. I don't know if that's his real name, but if it is, I mean, it's an original name and an original take by me. I think you're right that I think I could replace Cohen very easily in the draft, which we will break down like no other fucking network here on the Tape Never Lies network, which should get you excited about patronage and the Tape Never Lies that'll be out this week, and Keeping It 100 on Wednesday night, as well as every week right here with 368 of you strong talking Chicago Bears, and I'm sure there's more because whatever mathematical equation Cars is doing with Facebook and YouTube and Twitter the numbers don't always show up according to what it is for us as we're broadcasting. But right now at 359 now, 360.
Right.
Going
Phil,
up.
Real quick, we got our listeners with the new followers on Twitter.
Okay, yes, back to that.
I've sent out a couple of DMs to people, but I've heard no response back. So you have a couple of more minutes to respond, or I'm going to move on to the next person.
Claudio, do you have anybody in the chat?
So I
you do?
You just put the guy up. That's crazy. So XH Mikos 93
all the way
from Greece.
From Greece wants to come on.
He's a Cut It Out fan. He shouted out "Cut It Out" to me, and It got my eye, and the guy makes some good points on here. So, that's awesome. From Greece, we're gonna bring him on.
You're gonna bring him on. So Claudio, the producer today, he's usually the moderator.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys might have to hit him up here. This is
what we do.
Do your thing. I don't know.
There he is.
There you go. Hit him
Shayne, send him to his email. Look, he's not afraid to put his email.
No, he's ready. This kid's
he puts
ready.
his email on the chat. It's right there. Could you send him a invitation? Shayne?
Yeah, leave it up there now.
Leave it up there. I'm going to play this, and this is what we're talking about. Shayne is telling you, if you follow our Twitter account, he is going to bring one of you from the Twitter end on, as well as the chat, and you got to have 100 crew hot takes joining us. I want to know what you thought about Nagy, the game. Your point with me and Shayne would bring you up here.
It's 100 crew hot takes. Phil and Shayne bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 crew hot takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
All right, so we're going to get Mykonos from Greece on with us in a few minutes. Shayne is sending you the...
It is off, and I think...
just make sure you have your headset.
Yeah, you got to have your headset and the mic ready to go, and Ace is going to send you a DM, I believe, on Instagram, because they are on there, but
there you go.
The email has been sent.
There you go. So just click the link, put your name in. Take notes for future if you're not ready.
Okay, and we have our Twitter guy.
You have your Twitter guy too. So that's got hype coming out of his ass. He's ready.
He said he's ready.
Good.
So we're gonna have Mykonos on first, and then we'll go to the Twitter.
All right. So Mykonos, type your name in, enter the chat. Make sure you got your headphones in so we don't get my boy JJ Stankovic's echo.
Phil, you think he knows Stavros?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows anybody from Cyprus, Greece. We're going all the way to Greece. I think he's in.
Yeah, I see him.
He's starting to come into the chat room. But really, I want to say this before we go. Cole Kmet catches his first catch. I really want to see what he's going to bring to the table, Shayne, and really understand, does this guy have what you believe he's going to bring to the future? Because obviously the first game, the throw behind him at the goal line, then this week he makes the big catch, isolates, slips, focused, and gathers himself. Mykonos, you got to put on your camera so we can add you to the stream. So add your camera.
Device is not connected.
Yeah, because he's not connected to the stream. So, Shayne, Cole Kmet.
Yeah, big 12-yard catch. I thought, and this is nitpicking, but this is what we're going to do. I thought Mitch was a little bit late. I think he could have been a little bit earlier with that ball and maybe given him a chance to get some yards after catch. But like I said, that it's nitpicking, and I understand it, and that's probably going to drive people crazy in the chat. But no, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing with Kmet. That's one thing that I've seen with all of these rookies is that nothing looks too big for them, Phil. Nothing. These guys don't seem overwhelmed by the moment. You see that in Kmet. He hasn't been a huge part of this game plan yet. I think he will be. I was very disappointed, more so in where was Jimmy Graham today. You know, I expected him to. I played it. I had Jimmy Graham in my DraftKings today because I thought that they were going to come out, and I thought he might be able to sneak me a couple of touchdowns. But none of these moments don't seem too big for these guys. And talking about Mooney, talking about Kmet, and talking about especially Jaylen Johnson. But look at this guy.
There he is.
Look at this guy.
All the way from Greece.
Hi, guys.
All the way
Hi,
from
guys.
Repping
Repping the Bears.
Repping the Bears.
Who's this, Brian Hoyer?
Is there a lot? Is there a lot of Bear fans out there in Greece? Do you have other ones out there?
Not a lot of football guys either.
No?
No, not anyone I know of.
Well,
okay.
We got you
even more
here
impressive
on BHL. And our producer, man, he thinks he's running the interview here. I don't know what the Claudio, the moderators, he's getting used to his role here. So what did you think today? You know, you're watching this game all the way out in Greece. You got the passion. You're 100 crew. What'd you think about Mitch? And then bring your thoughts on the coach and the game.
First of all, I want to say that I'm fired up to be here with you guys. It's the only show I can catch live because we have a 7 to 8 hour difference, you know, with the time zones. You know, I honestly felt good about Mitch because I think in the first quarter, the first 2 quarters, he brought his game on, you know.
Yeah.
He was on fire. He was on point. He had a rhythm. He was leading the offense. And quite honestly, the interceptions, I think there weren't on Mitch, not 100%. You know, that tipped ball, it was a contested catch. And the interception to A-Rob, I think just the cornerback made a hell of a play, you know, and
Yeah.
he got lucky as well. But today I was just frustrated in the second half, seeing Nagy almost losing us the game, seeing empty sets on third downs, seeing how he managed the clock, and you know, he just played passive. We were running the ball down their throats in the fourth quarter in our last drive. We were running well, we were running strong. 32 gave it the best. He was the best player on offense today.
Yes, he was.
And Nagy could call play action pass because they would have boarded, you know, the Giants defense would have boarded, would have freezed, and we would have a touchdown, we would have scored, or we could at least get a field goal. But I think today it's on Nagy, you know, because we could have won easily. And he almost lost us the game.
Now let me ask you this with your voice. Can you say you're watching?
No,
we wanted you to say Joel E.A. Buniwe. Can you give us one of those?
Okay. Joel E.A. Buniwe.
Look at that. Can you give me keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies network? Let me focus on you, though. Ready?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Keeping it 100 on the. I lost it. Let's go again.
Oh my God, you JJ.
Let's go, JJ.
Stankovic.
Let's go, JJ.
No, I feel your pain, bro. Don't worry about it. Stick in there. Don't worry about it.
Cut it out, Mikos.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. He was in the Cut It Out video.
Yes, I was, and thank you for that, Phil and Claudio. You got me in.
Yes.
Okay, so keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies network.
We need more hype than that. Even Tooch is fired up with you for that one. Give me
think about like Greece winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
Greece won the World Cup.
There's no soccer talk on this show.
He's a soccer
No,
fan.
he's not. He's a football fan.
No.
Be pissed off at
No,
Nagy.
you're not. Okay.
So there you go. Be pissed off at Nagy and say it one more time.
Keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies network.
Boom!
There you go.
There he is. I don't know where Shayne went, but I know that you're here. You're bringing the hype. Final thought. Give me your final thought. The Bears are 2-0. You're watching this in Greece. You're said, what, 8 hours ahead or 6 hours ahead?
It's 12:30
what time is it
now.
12:30 at night. How are you feeling as you're going to hit the pillow? Are you excited about this team moving forward? Or are you more excited about watching the Tape Never Lies this week on the Tape Never Lies network?
The best thing about the Tape Never Lies is that, you know, it hits you in the middle of the week. We are waiting for that Sunday game. You're waiting for the Bears to play. And you see an update on your YouTube channel saying, oh, TTNL network, the Tape Never Lies. You just make it just makes my days better, you know. Tape Never Lies.
Wow.
Also, I wake up Thursday and try to watch Keeping It 100. It's too long for me to watch. I watch it in segments. That's great too.
That's right. That's what segments are for.
That's
you
what
don't have to watch
segments
it
are
all
for.
at once.
Great feedback, right?
And we're trying to cut the show down to 2 hours, keeping it transparent. 100.
Yeah, Phil will be featured in an hour and 45 minutes of it, and Claudia and I will pick up the extra 15.
No,
And that's what we do here. We break balls.
Phil's shout-outs should be another whole show,
Exactly.
Well, that's going to be on Patreon. It's going to be shout-outs with you all. There you go. You were awesome. Thank you for coming on and joining us. That's how you do it, man.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Nice job.
Keep it 100.
We love you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you,
And
Mikos.
remember, this is BHL. What does that stand for?
Bears are live.
There you go.
Nice.
From
And live
Greece.
we are.
There you go. Mykonos from Greece. What a great dude. Love him. Shayne, you felt the energy and the hype there? You felt it?
I did. Yeah, I could have. We need to get him send him over a couple of Red Bulls, I think, over to Greece. I don't know if they have it there. We'll get him.
Well, it was late. It's 12:30 at night.
It is 12:30
at night.
Hey. You think I'm not up at 12:30 and bringing the fucking thunder on this show?
Cut it
Claudio.
out. Cut it out, Claudio.
But Phil, you go talk a little bit, and I'm going to set up our next guest
Okay.
here and get him the info.
Okay, perfectly. I will talk a little bit about the offensive line. Once again, you got Charles Leno, and I'm trying to understand where this guy is in regards to this football team. Keeping it 100 with you. Did he improve from last week? Was he better on the tape? That's really what I want to see, because the running game clearly had some gash plays, some big plays from David Montgomery, Cordarrelle Patterson. He missed a counter play. I thought Charles Davis, who was broadcast the game, hit it right. He needs to plant and get up in there. I really feel like the offensive line in the pass pro, I don't know if they were asked to hold their blocks too long and those were coverage sacks, or if that was on technique or lack of fundamentals, as we say all the time. On the tape never lies network. So Leno's going to be a big focus, because last week he was the worst player. And J.P. Holtz, Shayne, continues to struggle.
Yep.
You built yourself as a fabric player, as Shayne would say, and you came in there and you busted your ass and you made blocks and you did it all with consistent effort. Now, the last 2 weeks, on the tape, he was terrible. And then today, just watching him, even in the I form, he doesn't even block anybody on a fucking ISO play, a bob play, and Montgomery's carrying people. He's looking around. It's like, can we get the fullback position right? So maybe Mitch Galloway's got to find the fullback free agent list, because I think that's an important position to this football. Is it going to be Ryan Nall that you're putting at fullback and get those reps from him? Or is it going to be, J.P. Holtz carrying on the fucking, what was his name? I can't believe I forgot his name. The tradition at fullback. Who was Mike Burton? The Mike Burton Awards. It's continuing. Boy. It's continuing with J.P. Holtz. So all I could say is that issue struggles with. So J.P. and Leno, I'm going to check them out. Going to check out this offensive line. I really think they really, really deeply improved as they went from last season running the football to this season. It's very apparent. And I guess we're going to our next guest, Shayne. You're getting dark there you go.
Well, I was just checking to make sure. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Look at we see him in the green room. He looks he's not smiling yet, but I can tell he's got his game face on.
He is. Does he have hype?
He's got the goatee all trimmed up. He's got some neon behind him. Oh, he just ripped his shirt off.
Oh!
There he is.
Holy shit.
Look at this guy. He's got BHL behind him. Look at him. Live in the back.
In the Keystone
Chicago
State.
Bears fans in Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Representing the Keystone State, as Shayne said. He is the smartest man. I would not have known.
I read it on the license plate. I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen you on Facebook. You got passion and fire all the time. You truly are 100 crew. D'Angelo there. You're from Pennsylvania. Talk about this game. What did you get fired up about? What's your take?
Let's take me. I'm an armchair quarterback. I've never played. I've just watched it for. I really started watching it. I think it was 2 AD after Ditka. So what was that? The Wannstedt years. So that was 93, 94, somewhere in there.
There you go.
So the play that got to me today was the interception where he came down with the ball, but they both were fighting for the ball, but the defensive player never looked back. Now, how comes that's not pass interference? I thought you have to look back for the ball.
Well, they both were aggressively going. I think the big issue was they both seemed to possess it, and then knees were out of bounds, and it didn't seem like they went to that review long enough. And we didn't get many looks at it because they were looking at it, apparently. Every turnover gets looked at. So I know what you're saying. He didn't turn around. He threw his hand in there, but I think because he threw his hand in there, there was good timing, and that was a great play by the Giants defender. But
agreed, but I was just I don't know. I always thought that you at least got to do at least act like you're looking for the ball. I mean, he was going off the reaction of the receiver, and I always thought that was pass interference.
If he made contact with the player prior to the ball there, I will take this play and look at it. Because there's almost three things. Was it a double possessed ball? That goes to the receiver. That was pulled out when they were down. The timing of that. I don't think they went into too much detail. And I thought CBS did a horrific job, Shayne. Giving you replays, giving you every look possible. I don't need to see fucking Staley the Bear with a fucking mask on. It's not fun. I need to see football. I need fans to understand what's going on in the game. I thought Charles Davis and Ian Eagle did a decent job broadcasting the game, knowing the players and everything of that. But I felt like they dropped the ball analyzing these critical plays with multiple angles to get the officials to help make the call correct. The Eddie Jackson one, the one you're talking about, double possession, was his knee out of bounds when he finally caught it? Then it's incomplete, and you're punting there. So, good stuff on you. How about Coach Nagy? What do you feel about him? How do you...
the first year that we had him and he was doing all of his razzle-dazzle and all that, well, that wore off the second year because everybody knew he was going to do razzle-dazzle. So everybody knew that was going on. So I just think his tricks have been figured out. And, being since I live like 11 miles away from where he's from. Yeah. And I just...
Can you go to his parents' house?
No, I'm not that bad of a stalker. I mean, I stalked Bearman worse than I did anything.
Oh, there you go.
So, which I don't know if you guys know that his friend Paul Zawicki just broke a huge home game losing, going to the games streak, which sucks.
Yeah, we did.
He'll be on in Chicago. Yeah, he'll be on Chicago tonight.
Greg Braggs had him on his show, our buddy. But yeah.
I just think I want to believe, I really do, but he's making it really hard for me. I mean, being local, I want to follow him, but it's I don't know. I'm kind of half right now.
So who's your game ball go to? If you had to give a game ball, follow my boy Jay D'Angelo right there, Road Rash JD on Twitter. Follow him. Let him know how he did. He's 100 crew. I've seen you in our shows.
I would like to give it to Montgomery. I thought he really turned it on at the end there.
There you go.
I mean, it was impressive. Some of the runs that he had, even that one that got called back, I mean, was fantastic.
Oh.
But we just watched just before this, we were watching The Replacements, the movie, and I said
Reeves.
With at the end of the play, I said to my wife, I said, doesn't it suck after you have like a great score like that, you get something called back on a flag like that, and then sure enough in the game, I'm watching this and I'm, oh, come on, really?
Oh, cut it out. Can I get a cut it out?
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Shit. Cut it out.
He's watching The Replacements. We need to see his Thunder Scar dance. Want to do that live on air?
No one wants to dance on air for us. I mean, Jesus, everyone throws their kids into the flames to dance on the
Now
air.
it looks like you're in a. Is this your Bears cave?
Is this
or
the man
office
cave?
with all the
No,
Bears
this
swag?
is actually my. This is actually my living room.
Oh, the wife.
You have a very
wife
forgiving
loves
wife,
you.
then,
Look
is
at
what
her.
you're saying.
It's even more impressive.
It's even more impressive.
I have a. Here, I can.
Is she there?
Take you down the hallway. Yeah, she's here.
Is she coming on the air?
You want to come on and tell us?
She
tell us
doesn't.
the truth?
No.
Look at him. No, Thayer.
All right,
There he
here's
is,
one that
Tom.
nobody has.
Who's that?
Oh, that's Paris Hilton.
Oh, Paris Hilton.
That was
the
Soldier
Urlacher.
Field 2002, right? Or
had
whatever
great
it was.
Somebody gave that to me as a gift. Paris Hilton, when Paris Hilton was in Urlacher's box, so to speak.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't the other way around? He wasn't in her box?
That's what she said.
So then here's I'm trying to get the shadow out of it. There's
There you go. We're getting the tour.
Chris Valerio. Do you guys remember him?
Oh, yeah.
I'm friends with his sister on Facebook. She's
How's he doing? I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
We gotta get him on the
He
show.
was coaching high school
Yeah.
football.
Well, I thought it was college. Or is he back to high
Maybe it
school
was.
now?
Maybe it was. I haven't caught
So,
up in a long
What
time.
college did he go to? Do you remember?
IUP, please.
There you go. Tell the people.
Yeah, and then they retired his jersey at Hershey High School where he played.
Nice.
And we were holding chocolate bars that have Valerio on them, and I actually think I still have mine in the freezer somewhere.
It's like a Willy Wonka bar.
Might be time to throw that one out, man.
The other guy, who's wearing 11 now?
That's
Mooney.
Mooney.
So do you guys know who wore 11 back in the day? I can tell you a quick story.
Roy Williams?
Boy. Peter
No.
Tom Willis.
Jules Reikovich.
Wow.
Okay.
Never heard of
So,
Jules.
so the guy that's wearing that jersey, he was the coordinator for the Harrisburg Chicago Bears fan club. His name is Steve Bardowski.
Nice.
And he was from Gary, Indiana. So he went to Moravian. Was it Moravian? No. What the hell was the name of his school? He went to a Catholic school in Gary, and his coach was Jules Reikovich for football. So he wore that in honor. Andreas
The
Catholic
wife
school.
is correct.
The wife
Yep.
is dropping the
Wife
ball.
is dropping.
She's
some-
scared. Turn the screen real quick, and she can give us
No,
a
I'm
turn
not
out.
turning the screen.
Look at
He's
the
eating an
dimples
apple.
on this guy. He's fired up. Anyway,
So
I love your passion. I love
Absolutely.
everything. You gave the game ball to David Montgomery. We'll definitely have you on again. I need you to give me one. You're watching the Tape Never Lies Network with my guys, The Smartest Man and Draft Dr. Phil. Can you do that? I'm going to isolate on you.
all right.
Press
I don't know if I
pressure.
can do I don't know if I can do the names, but I know I can do.
The Smartest Man and Draft Dr. Phil. I gave it to you twice now.
All right.
You got it?
No.
Keep it at 100. No.
Oh God.
You're
I'm
getting
freezing. I'm
You're
freezing.
nervous. Say your name,
It's J. D'Angelo.
and you're watching the Tape Never Lies Network with Draft Dr. Phil and The Smartest Man.
I'm watching the Tape Never Lies with Draft Dr. Phil and the Smartest Man.
There you go.
We'll take it. We'll take
job.
it. Great job. Not as good as Kostos from Greece, but you're
Well, like you
second
said, it
on the
was
show.
midnight there.
A little more cayenne pepper in his delivery.
D'Angelo's digs are way better though.
Oh, don't.
Yeah,
there
the
you
living
go.
room is
yes,
nice.
and the wife throwing stats. I love it.
You got us live on the big screen back
And
there.
he's
I
got
see
us
me
live on the
talking
big
to
screen.
you on
Yep,
your
that's
TV
the-
back
It's
there.
almost
That's my
like
60-inch 4K. Uh-oh. There goes the
All
ball.
right, brother. Thank you for coming on with
Thanks,
us.
man.
Thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
for keeping it 100 on Bears Hour Live with Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne, the Smartest Man. Listen, we love the passion from these guys. We love you guys and how you guys bring it to us. That's why we want to include you going strong here as the Chicago Bears defeat the New York Football Giants to move to 2-0. It was up and down game, Shayne. It was up and down throughout the whole thing, and you gotta, you hold on to victory. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're winning or you're losing. It's how that W stacks up at the end of the season.
It doesn't. No one remembers.
Couple more weeks, we're not going to care how we got there if they keep on stacking
Exactly.
W's. I mean, it gives me pause because I mean I think it shows some major fundamental flaws within this team. But if they have those flaws and they still keep on winning, you're hoping at some point. I mean, we still need to see this quarterback, this defense, this head coach, this coaching staff, this franchise go out and give us a full four quarters on both sides of the ball and from the coaching staff, because this is not a lack of talent issue with this team. And you know, one thing that we always talked about last year, Phil, is as crazy as everything got last year with the injuries, with the inept play, with the questionable calls on offense, they still finished 8-8. I mean, you saw a local New York Giants beat reporter send out a tweet today saying, you know, the Bears are thought to be a very mediocre ball club, and if the Giants can't beat them, then who are they going to beat in their first 4 or 5 weeks? And it almost came to fruition, what he was talking about, because you can't go out there and blow a 17-point lead at home when you have the horses that this team has. I mean, it's definitely it's an issue, Phil, as we like to say.
That's an issue. It really is. Listen, we break it down every week. The tape never lies will be out this week. Hopefully the all 22 will keep you posted. On Wednesday, we're going to keep it 100 right here. Keep it 100 with Shayne and Phil. Claudio Cars we'll have a guest, a surprise guest. I promised him I wouldn't announce it today.
Maybe we will tomorrow.
But maybe we will tomorrow.
How you like them lemons?
We'll have a guest on the show this Wednesday breaking down this game and looking forward to the Atlanta Falcons as we try to go to 3-0. And believe me, based on what I know about the great game of football, the greatest game of football, what am I talking about? Any given Sunday, anything could happen. So breaking down the tape this week. I'll also bring the defensive footage on Saturday morning. You guys should be there on Wednesday night at 8:30 East. That's 7:30 Central for sure in the Midwest.
You're getting better at that.
And we will be live. We'll have a guest that you guys all know and love joining us, breaking it down, and all of the segments, including Claudio's segment now that has become a fan favorite.
I'm loving it. It's gonna be better.
Cut it out.
I got some time to prepare.
And you guys
and
can
it's gonna be better.
follow Claudio.
I've got lots of DMs from people saying that Claudio is no Dave Coulier. he's got some promise. He just got to work on it a little bit.
Appreciate it.
Also, I'm keeping it 100. This podcast, this show, will move at some point the week of the Tampa Bay Bucks to
October 8th, the week of October 8th.
Patreon. We are asking fans to support us, help us out with our production and the costs and our families and the work that you see. And I promise you, the $7 that we're going to ask of you, we are going to give you 20,000 times in stuff coming back. And I say that just to always keep it 100 and transparent. This show, the podcasts, extended tape never lies, they're not all going to be 30 minutes for free. They're not. I don't know why Claudio's putting that up on the board, but that brings me to this. Shy City Sports will bring this week to the network. This show, those of you truck drivers, you guys wanting to listen to it on the podcast, this show, Bears Hour Live, the best post-game show on the Chicago Bears on the planet. Look at how many of you strong, all show, 400 and something people strong, all show, giving it to us. I got players texting me, former Bears, Chris Harris checking in today. Everybody involved, I love it. Here's where you can find the podcast up until the Tampa game.
Keeping It 100 can be found on all podcast streaming apps: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Overcast, Castbox, Deezer, and finally, officially on Google Music and Podcasts. It's Keeping It 100 with Phil and Shayne.
So that's Keeping It 100, but I'm Keeping It 100. Bears Hour Live can be found there as well on iTunes. It'll be up. Our boy over at Shy City, Jalen Johnson, working the under routes, getting open and opening up the podcast version of this show. So you'll hear the rant, you'll do all that stuff, and you'll hear you guys coming on the show before we get out of here. I really want to talk 2-0. I think I did all the business. Is there anything I'm missing? Go follow The Tape Never Lies on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We'll explain everything that's going to go down.
We want to get that Twitter following up so we can have a large presence there. I mean, if you're in the chat, and even if you have a Twitter account that you're not super active on, we want to be able to get the word out there, because the more numbers we have there, we can broadcast to there. You guys can see us. You know, if you have a friend that's a Bears fan or just an NFL fan, share it with them. Tell them about us, and we want to get this Tape Never Lies Network name out there, because the more we can get noticed, the more we can provide for the 100 crew, and that's what this is all about. And Phil, we'll wrap it up here. I think it's
couple things.
Yeah.
You ready? Want to get this off my chest. 2 things. And then let's do a little rapid fire with you. I think we owe it to them. Throw some questions that you want answered or comments that you want us to comment on. Throw them in the chat right now. We'll get to them as quick, rapid fire questions as you can. I just want to say this. Chuck Pagano, Coach Nagy, really got to be looking in the mirror this week. Chuck has to learn to be more aggressive. When you have a freaking lead, you got to go for the jugular. You got to cut the head off the snake. You got to put the premium gas in the car. You got to be able to be the best. Get your horses out there and really go after it. Cairo Santos. Got to make the kick. I told Shayne this week, I feel comfortable with Cairo Santos. I don't know. That's my gut.
And who called you out via text? As soon as
you did. Immediately after, made me feel like shit. So, Cairo Santos has to make that kick. He's got to be able to do it and do it right. So, those 2 things. We'll take a couple questions real quick if you have them. If not, we're going to end this show right here, right now, because I have my sons, my family here, and we're building the Chris Jackal-led Draft Dr. Phil Studios.
Hey, who's that kid? He owes me a donut.
That's Tate. He's ready. He was all fired up.
Where's my donut, Tate?
He wants his donut, Tate. So there you go. Does Nagy just let Pagano run the D without any question, or does he have input?
I think he's essentially the assistant head coach, and I think that Nagy is probably involved in a little bit and goes in there and checks on things, Phil, but the way that it comes across is Nagy is the head coach of the team, taking over the offense, has all of the decisions there, but it's essentially Chuck Pagano as the head coach of the defense, and I think everything that is going on there is all on Chuck. And I think, obviously Nagy reserves the right to overrule and go there with him, but overall, I think anything that you see going on the defense is something that Chuck Pagano believes in and is doing going forward.
My son is excited to see his name up on the screen. Alex Acevedo shouting you out, Tate. I agree with Shayne there, but I think as the head coach, you really got to step to your defensive coordinator in meetings this week and say, listen, we have to put the pedal to the metal. I got to be better. You have to be better. Because if you're not fully, and it goes back to what my father had said, if you're not fully invested as the head coach with the defense and the entire team, then you're not doing your job if you're focusing just on the quarterback or just on the offense. So that's really got to happen. Last question today, Shayne. Allen Robinson, I saw it. Did he play his best? There it is. Question. Robinson's effort today. Are you questioning his effort? today?
No, I'm not. I think that there's a lot that goes into this. Obviously, the contract is an issue. Phil, you and I have talked. I think we both expect this to get done. It sounds like maybe they're crossing the T's and dotting the I's before they can be official with this. But in terms of the interception there on the sideline, sometimes guys just make plays. I'm never going to question Allen Robinson's effort, or really, if you're doing that, you're questioning his integrity as a football player. And he's a guy that I'm always going to roll with. These guys can have up and down games just like anybody can, but at the same time, you have to hold them accountable. I'm going to go back through and watch the game, the TV feed again tonight, and you know how it is, Phil, when the all 22 drops, we'll definitely dive into that.
Can't wait.
We'll see different things, but let's not forget, Allen Robinson did have a couple really nice receptions. I mean, you saw one today that looked eerily similar to the one last week that everybody was fawning over, but I'm never going to question the guy's effort because that's just not who Allen Robinson is. Consummate pro. I think you'll probably see some breaking news with him around Tuesday or Wednesday to maybe just make this part of it go away. Get the business out of it, and then it can be 100% football moving on.
I just want to double down on what you said. I think Allen Robinson is the consummate professional. You could see it on tape. You could see it with the effort. You could even see it in the one screenshot that the CBS network gave you after the drop or the interception off the tip, that he was pissed off at himself.
Yeah.
And if you have a guy that's a professional that loves the game of football the way this guy does, that's why it's so important to pay the man, get him under the right mental mindset so he knows he's taken care of, the team knows he's taken care of, because clearly Mitch has some sort of focus on him. It's not even a joke at this point. He's got to open up his eyes. That's his security blanket. That's what I'm feeling on the video, after watching the game after 2 weeks. That's his security blanket. So take care of those guys like Linus takes care of his blanket. That's what you got to do. And really, I don't question his effort whatsoever today. So what a great show. Bears Hour Live every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, whenever the Bears play. Join us here. All of the Patreon stuff, all of the questions you guys have, feel free to DM Shayne or me. All of that's going to be answered as we move forward. If we're going to give free stuff, we're going to be live, obviously, every Wednesday without Patreon. We're going to do pop-up shows with Patreon, without always doing something. And obviously, the tape never lies, as well as the extended version. You're going to get so much and live analysis with me, Shayne, and my dad, and a bunch of other surprises that we have in store for you. So I hope you enjoyed the victory. You're all there strong. We have a family. Obviously, heard my son. I got my boy Claudio here. Thank you, Claudio. This isn't Keeping It 100, so there's no shout-outs today, Shayne. I know you're disappointed in that, but the Bears are 2-0. There's Claudio in the dark. He's too dark.
No light. I wasn't prepared.
That's the best he's ever looked.
Yeah, we'll just leave it like this.
He throws himself.
Cut it out. Cut the light out.
Are you going to be ready for Cut It Out this week?
I'm going to be more ready than last week. Yes.
There you go. So this Wednesday,
Phil and I are going to throw you a couple curveballs that we're not going to tell you about.
That's all right. All right.
He's ready. He's confident now. 8:30 Wednesday East. Keeping It 100. Shy City Sports sponsoring us. This has been the Tape Never Lies Network, Bears Hour Live. Gotta love it. 100 crew strong.
Bear
God
down.
bless and bear down. Peace.